profession, for guidance, assurance, dedication, higher standards for professionalism, and learning. I ask you, my fellow neurologists, my colleagues from far and wide, from Australia, Canada, Pakistan, and Bulgaria, I ask you to recall the words of the Hippocratic Oath.
I'll carve the turkey. You tell that butcher to save his mistakes from surgery. Good morning, Dr. Mortimer. Have a Christmas cookie?
I'm busy, Connolly.
Aren't we all, sir? Only 3 days to Christmas, and we're only just starting rehearsals for the pantomime. Did Sister Henderson leave any costumes here for me?
I'm trying to learn my speech. Do you mind?
Oh, was that your Father Christmas speech for the patients?
It's my lecture for the conference this morning.
Oh, that.
I'll have you know, Connolly, that my colleagues from as far afield as Iceland and Japan find it worth their while to make this trip to London.
I think they should do. All expenses paid and a week at the Savoy? Oh, here we go. What time are you on?
12 o'clock.
Oh, 1 hour and 14 minutes to high noon. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nervous?
Yes.
Well, with 200 neurologists out there, you won't go short on tranquilizers.
For higher standards of techniques, dedication, professionalism.
Sorry to trouble you, David.
Rosemary, darling.
Well, I need change for the parking meter.
I'm trying to learn my speech.
Sorry, sweetheart, but I'm double parked. Good morning, Dr. Connolly.
Good morning, Mrs. Mortimer. You here for the lecture?
Oh, I couldn't miss my husband's big day now, could I?
Your husband's big day will be a fiasco if he doesn't learn his speech.
Funny, last night you knew it backwards.
That'll be a novelty. Have a Christmas cookie?
I think I will.
Oh, they're very delicious. Made by the sister in charge of contagious diseases.
Christmas Day.
Connolly, do you have any change? You're awfully early, aren't you, Rosemary?
Well, Sir Willoughby said something about you and I welcoming the delegates into the lecture hall.
A couple dollars, okay?
Oh, lovely. David will pay you back. If I don't get another chance, darling, good luck.
Thank you, dear.
You'll be wonderful.
Thank you.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
I'll see you in the lecture hall, Dr. Connolly.
Oh, no. I have more important things to do than that.
Thank you, Connolly.
We're rehearsing for the Boxing Day pantomime.
That is important, of course. Are you in it this year, David?
Am I in what, though?
The St. Andrew's pantomime.
Connolly, all I'm concerned with is my Ponsonby lecture and my 200 fellow neurologists.
Actually, darling, I think the 200 neurologists would rather have pantomime than your speech.
Connolly, will you wave that and disappear? So I ask you, my fellow neurologists, my colleagues from far and wide, from
Ah, there you are, David.
God!
Morning, Mike.
Good morning, Dr. Boney. Y'all set for today's rehearsal?
Of course, I'll be there. Just thought I'd wish you good luck.
Thank you, Hubert.
Big day, eh?
Yes.
Are you nervous?
Yes, but with 200 neurologists, I won't be short of tranquilizers, will I?
Would you like a tranquilizer?
No, I'm trying to learn this. Do you mind?
Ah, I'll let you get on with it then.
Thank you.
You memorizing the whole speech?
I'm trying to.
I say, I'm finding it difficult remembering the first lines from Dr. Connolly's melodrama. I'm the villain, aren't I, Mike?
Oh, you are indeed.
I'm supposed to come on and say to Nurse Mary, she's the heroine. Ahoy in front, avast behind. That's a big laugh.
Come on, Belton.
Yes, don't quite see why.
Hubert, shouldn't you be on your rounds?
Just finished. Well, what a day, eh? I never thought when we were students here I'd see you up on that rostrum delivering the Ponsonby lecture.
If you don't stop nattering, I won't be delivering anything.
Of course, my dear fellow. Would you like me to make you a nice cup of tea?
No, thank you.
And there you are, your Father Christmas hat. Couldn't cope with him and play a dead body. could you?
Just take your costumes and go.
I suggested we borrow a real body from the mortuary, but Dr. Saunders wouldn't have it.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
My God, people are in and out of here like a stomach pump.
Oh, we are grumpy Father Christmas, aren't we?
Nurse Mary, this is supposed to be the doctor's common room.
Correct. And I'm taking a shortcut.
Of course. Quite right, Nurse Mary. Don't apologize.
I wasn't going to.
Nurse Mary, is that anyone we know?
It's the patient's Christmas presents.
Very good. I'll give you a hand, shall I?
Thank you, Dr. Bonnie. I'm keeping him in the mortuary till Christmas Day.
And Nurse Mary, don't forget, rehearsals are about to commence.
Rehearsals?
Dr. Connolly's melodrama.
I haven't got time for that.
Nurse Mary, perhaps you can explain the significance of ahoy in front and avast behind?
I hope I'm not going to have to explain all the bad jokes to Dr. Bonnie.
Connolly, will you either be quiet or go and rehearse?
My, but you're so masterful.
Is Dr. Mortimer anywhere? Who are you, sir?
Dr. Connolly, sir. One of the housemen.
Is that the headgear you're wearing this year?
Oh, no, Sir Willoughby. We're rehearsing for the pantomime. Have a Christmas cookie?
Get out. I want to speak to Dr. Mortimer.
Oh, well, may I take this opportunity to wish you a happy Christmas?
Clear off.
I don't suppose you'd like to play the fairy.
Ah, Sir Willoughby.
Yes. Now, Mortimer, I can't emphasize enough the importance of the annual Ponsonby lecture.
Well, you certainly don't have to, sir.
Don't interrupt, please.
Sorry.
As chairman of the board and also past head physician here, I find myself in a unique position.
Well, you certainly are, sir. Please do sit down.
A unique position in the sense that I get to select the Ponsonby lecturer. This year, Mortimer, it's no secret that you were not the first choice for the role.
Well, I'd heard rumors I wasn't at the top of the list.
You were bottom. However, beggars can't be choosers. And against my advice, neurology was selected as this year's subject. Now, you're the senior specialist here, so you're delivering the Ponsonby lecture.
I won't let you down, Sir Willoughby.
God help you if you do. Does your speech make any reference to the present government?
Oh, certainly not, sir.
Well, put some in, you damn fool.
Right. Any references in particular?
Well, favorable ones, for heaven's sake. The junior health minister is attending the lecture, and we need a new scanner.
Right. Favorable references it shall be, sir.
And plead poverty.
Poverty, right.
But don't let those overseas medicos think that we're hard up.
Right. Plead poverty, but not hard up.
Keep it brief. Neurology numbs the brain. See you in my office in 5 minutes. I think I better vet that speech for you.
Right. Thank you, sir. 5 minutes.
The Ponsonby lecture could be a step up to head position for you here.
Oh, well, I hadn't even allowed myself to think that far ahead.
Damn liar. You know full well that there's a tradition here at St. Andrews that the Ponsonby lecture is practically a direct line to a knighthood. Why do you think I got mine?
Oh, well, I'd often wondered about that, sir.
5 minutes.
My fellow neurologists, we are fortunate enough in this country to have more than sufficient funds to maintain a robust and vigorous health service. However, I see that we have the Junior Minister for Health in the audience, and for him I'd like to plead poverty. Now, although I must be brief, I would like to compliment the government on,
Excuse me.
oh, for heaven's sake.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
This is the doctor's common room.
Yes, I know.
The patient's waiting room is downstairs in the main hall.
It is you I want to see, Dr. Mortimer.
The receptionist will be happy to make an appointment for you, and I'm afraid you're going to have a note from your GP.
It's me, Dr. Mortimer. Jane.
Jane? Good heavens, Nurse Tate!
I didn't want to give you a shock.
Yes, no, well, Good
It
heavens.
was a long time ago, over 18 years.
18 years. You don't look a day older.
And that's why you recognize me right away.
Oh, well, no more than a day. And you were always the prettiest on the board.
And that's what you said to all of the nurses.
Oh, nonsense. You were the prettiest, and as far as I was concerned, the most efficient.
As far as you were concerned, I was certainly the most...
But come on, you.
Oh, Nurse T. Please, I don't do what we did with all the nurses.
Just some of them, eh?
Nurse T. Jane, I am a very happily married man.
But you were a very, very happily married man 18 years ago.
Yes, I was, and I still am. Besides, as far as I remember, you were perfectly willing.
Of course, it was wonderfully naughty and romantic, rolling around out there on the saloon's room floor.
It is grand to see you again after all this time.
Oh, God, may I sit down? My knees are knocking.
Actually, I'm a bit worried about the time. I'm delivering the Ponsonby lecture this morning.
I should have told you 18 years ago.
Told me what?
Didn't you ever wonder why I suddenly left the hospital without even saying goodbye properly?
I remember it seemed rather abrupt.
I was expecting.
Expecting what?
After what we did, what do you think I was expecting?
Well, it couldn't have been a raise.
I left the hospital to have a baby.
Baby. A baby?
Yes.
We had a baby?
It's my fault, stupid, a nurse getting herself pregnant.
Hardly brilliant for a doctor either. Do you mind if I sit down?
Can I get you anything?
Like what, a cigar? No, I can't sit. I can't sit. Sir Willoughby Drake is expecting me in 5 minutes, and my wife will be back any minutes. Oh my God, my wife! Oh, this really is one hell of a morning. Of course, it might not even be mine,
But
Nurse
it
T.
is. There wasn't anyone else.
Good.
I so nearly told you at the time, but then I thought there was no need to make a mess of your life as well. You were so ambitious, hoping to specialize.
This really is a very busy morning for me. Why have you decided to tell me after all this time?
Because of Leslie.
Leslie?
That's our son.
Oh, our baby's a little boy, is he?
And he's quite a big boy now.
Yes, I guess he would be.
Well, I'd always told Leslie that his father's name was Tate and that I was Mrs. Tate.
Very good.
And Mr. Tate had died when Leslie was a tiny baby 17 years ago.
Excellent.
Climbing the Himalayas.
The Himalayas?
Well, I always thought it would be nice for a little boy to have a picture of his daddy as a sort of romantic hero.
Fine.
And yesterday I told Les the truth.
You did what?
It was his 18th birthday.
And that was his present, was it?
So I come around thinking that when he was 18, he should know the real truth about his father.
Oh, Nurse Tate.
Don't worry, I didn't mention your name.
Well, what exactly did you mention?
That I'd had an affair with a young doctor here, the St. Andrews, when I was a trainee nurse, and he was already married.
Well, that's all right.
No, it wasn't. I didn't appreciate what it would mean to Les. All day yesterday he went on about it. I'd never seen him like this, laughing and crying.
Oh, God.
And as it was his birthday, we had some champagne. I don't think that helped.
But you didn't actually tell him my name.
No, but that poor boy this morning was in a dreadful condition. He'd taken some pills because he couldn't sleep, but they hadn't worked, so he finished off the champagne.
Oh, my God.
Washing it down with half a bottle of gin.
Gin, champagne, and pills?
Yes.
Well, if you'd done that 18 and a half years ago, we wouldn't be having this problem today.
He seemed quite hysterical. I think he thought it's all your fault.
My fault?
Deserting and leaving him fatherless.
Damn it, I didn't even know about Les until 5 minutes ago.
He's so confused.
He's confused.
You should have seen him this morning. I should have insisted he stayed in bed. He's got only a learner driving license, you see.
A learner driving license?
He said he'd made up his mind to come to the hospital and find out who his father was.
What?
And before I could stop him, he jumped into my car and drove off.
Oh my God.
I got in a taxi and followed.
The Richard boy.
He's downstairs at the reception.
Reception?
Don't you see? Instead of his father's bones lying in some crevasse halfway up the Himalayas, you're actually alive and available.
Oh no, I'm not, Nurse Tate. I may be alive, but I am not available. I'm due to give the Pun Zombie lecture at 12 o'clock.
Just see him for 5 minutes.
I can't. Sir Willoughby wants to bet my speech. Give me your phone number and I'll ring you up this afternoon.
That's not good.
Well, it's the best I can do. Just get Leslie out of St. Andrews now.
I can't.
You must.
I can't. He's with the police sergeant who arrested him.
Police sergeant?
Drunk in charge, driving while unqualified, exceeding speed limit, no insurance, and assaulting an officer.
Oh, David. Oh, Hubert, not now.
Sir Willoughby says, excuse me, Sir Willoughby says he's expecting you in his office.
Just tell Sir Willoughby I'll be with him in a baby. Maybe I'll be with him.
I think he's expecting you before the lecture.
Just go and tell him I'm on my way.
Well, I'm a bit involved at the moment. You see, rehearsing for Dr. Connolly's melodrama. Ahoy in front, avast behind. Dr. Connolly explained the joke to me. Good heavens, it's Nurse Tate.
I beg your pardon?
It's Nurse Tate, surely.
Yes, it is Nurse Tate. I didn't know you knew her, Hubert.
Didn't know I. We were all here together. You two were always larking around.
I don't know that we were.
Yes, playing silly tricks on one another, in and out of the sluice room. Marvelous. You look wonderful.
It's wonderful to see you too, Dr. Bonnie.
Super, Nurse Tate. Jane, wasn't it?
That's right.
Wow, marvelous.
You haven't changed, Dr. Bonnie.
Well, not much up on top these days.
There was never much to begin with.
Whoa. How long is it?
18 years.
18 years.
And 9 months.
Are you here on business or pleasure, Jane?
Pleasure.
Business.
Half and half, actually. She came to wish us a happy Christmas. That's the pleasure, and the business was to see if we have any vacancies, which we haven't.
We're desperately short on nurses.
Young ones, yes. I've already explained that, haven't I? No vacancies for old nurses. Well, I'm sorry you have to dash, but be sure to stop off in the main hall on your way out and take your little basket with you.
Surely she can stay and have a Christmas drink with us?
She doesn't drink.
If I remember correctly, she did in the old days.
Yes, well, there's a lot of things she did in the old days that she's regretting now.
Parties we used to throw. We hardly had time for the patients. I bet you snagged yourself a handsome husband.
Yes, she did, actually.
I thought so. What's he do for a
Yeah,
living?
he's dead.
Oh, dear.
Yes, Jane doesn't want to talk about her personal life, Hubert. Very sad. She just told me her husband fell while climbing in the Himalayas.
Oh, and when?
A long time ago.
Oh. And you have...
No, she doesn't. She just told me everything. No children, definitely not a son, no family at all. She's had a rotten life. Yes, I've heard the whole story and it brought tears to my eyes.
Dear, oh dear.
Yes, well, Hubert, you've got to run along. You'll miss your rehearsals after all.
You should stay for David's lecture.
How am I going to do that, actually?
Wait, did she remember? She can't. She's very busy. Lots of Christmas shopping to do for the family.
But I thought you said she didn't have any family.
She's got a lot of friends who have become like family. Now, what's your phone number and I'll call you later.
Hold roll 555-3131. What about Les?
I'll do my best to ring you up.
But what about the sergeant?
I'll do my best to ring him up too. Wait. What does he know?
Nothing about you. Let's just told him what he knows, that his father's a doctor here.
Good.
But the sergeant says he doesn't care who Leslie's father is. He wants Leslie to accompany him to the police station for a breathalyzer test.
That's a good idea.
But Leslie said he had the right to be accompanied by his father.
Dan, know-it-all.
So the sergeant let me come up here to see if you were available.
Well, I'm not. Now, you go and tell Leslie that if he doesn't accompany the sergeant, he'll get himself arrested. And if I make a mess up of my lecture, it'll all be thanks to Master Leslie. I am so glad that I was able to see you, Mrs. Leslie. Yes, hello, dear. This is Mrs.
Leslie.
Leslie, yes, thank you. This is my wife, Mrs. Mortimer, yes. Well, darling, how are you? What have you been up to?
I've been parking the car.
Great! Keep it up!
Are you on staff here, Mrs. Leslie?
No, actually I'm not.
No. Mrs. Leslie was visiting. Yes, she was visiting her husband, Mr.
Leslie.
Leslie, yes, thank you. Who is a patient in this hospital. B ward, did you say?
B ward, yeah.
B ward, yes. Well, and she was just on her way home when she developed palpitations in the corridor. And when I say she developed palpitations in the corridor, I mean she was in the corridor when she developed palpitations.
I know what you mean, David.
Dr. Mortimer.
Ah, Sir Willoughby, I'll be with you in a nappy. Happy to be with you.
We said 5 minutes, Doctor.
Indeed we did, sir.
That was 10 minutes ago.
This is Mrs. Mortimer.
I know Mrs. Mortimer.
Good morning, Sir Willoughby.
And this is Mrs.
Leslie!
Leslie, yes. This is the chairman of our board of governors, Sir Willoughby Drake. Slight problem. Mrs. Leslie developed palpitations in the corridor. Nothing to worry about.
I'm getting less worried about it, actually, all the time.
Good. Allow me to get you a drink, Sir Willoughby.
I don't want to refill.
I got the speech all worked out, the political angle. A nice balance of poverty on the one hand and bankruptcy in the other.
Mrs. Mortimer, when your husband has dealt with the palpitations in Mrs. Leslie's corridor, perhaps you could bring him to my office to discuss the Ponsonby lecture?
And why don't you take my wife with you now and discuss it with her first?
You weren't as nervous as this when you left the house this morning.
Yes, it hit me fairly recently. Well, you seem to have recovered nicely, Mrs. Leslie. I'll see you to the left.
And what about the sergeant?
The sergeant. Yes. Well, you will just have to tell the sergeant that your husband is in no fit state to attend the Army reunion this year. Yes, Mr. Leslie is just not up to it. I'm sorry about this, darling. Mrs. Leslie wanted me to give her a second opinion on her husband's condition. She's lost all faith in the doctor here.
Which doctor's that, then?
I beg your pardon?
Who is her husband's doctor?
Dr. Bonnie.
Hubert.
Hubert, yes.
Well, Dr. Bonnie is a most competent physician.
See, I told you that.
You can spare 5 minutes, surely.
You discuss your problem, whatever it is, with the sister on the ward.
But I don't want to discuss it with sister.
Don't give in, Mrs. Leslie, whatever you do, not in front of my wife. She has a very delicate disposition.
You, go see Sir Willoughby about your speech. I'll see Mrs. Leslie back to Beaver.
That's not a good idea.
And if we can't find sister, we'll have a word with Dr. Bonnie.
She doesn't want to talk to Dr. Bonnie.
Well, he's in charge of her husband.
She's lost all faith in Dr. Bonnie.
Nonsense. Dr. Bonnie is a very able and competent physician.
Dr. Bonnie is a nincompoop.
Good morning, Mrs. Mortimer.
Morning, Hubert.
We're busy, Dr. Bonnie.
I'm after a black hat for the villain. Oh, you're still here. That's nice.
She's very upset about her husband.
I suppose she is.
Yeah, we all are.
His name's Mr. Leslie.
Mr. Leslie, is that so?
And he's in B ward.
No, it doesn't matter what ward he's in, Rosemary.
Who is?
Mrs. Leslie's husband.
Mrs. Leslie's husband's dead.
Oh, God. Hubert, really? That was cruel. Very, very cruel.
What was?
Breaking the news like that.
The news?
I must say, Dr. Bonnie, that was rather abrupt to say the least. I'm so sorry. You'd better sit down.
No, she can't sit down.
It might be a good idea to sit down just while I recover from the news.
No, sitting's very bad when you've just had a shock. Fresh air and lots of it.
What's happened?
Her husband's just died, for heaven's sake.
I know, he fell in the Himalayas.
Oh, God.
Fell where?
In the Himalayas?
How on earth did he get there?
Climbed, I suppose.
But he was in St. Andrews 5 minutes ago.
Who was?
Don't be so dense, Hubert. Mrs. Leslie's husband.
Mrs. Leslie's husband was in...
It's all right, Hubert. There's been a slight confusion. That's all. Mrs. Leslie's husband did die tragically in a mountaineering expedition to the eastern Himalayas. That was her first husband. Her second husband, Mr. Leslie.
Oh, her second husband.
Yes,
Second husband.
Yes. Her second husband is at this moment a patient in our hospital. So,
Is he?
yes. So the good news is that the lady's husband is not deceased, but making a splendid recovery.
Oh, thank heavens.
So the lady can leave St. Andrews with a light heart and a little basket.
So, that's why you were here this morning? You were visiting?
Yes, and visiting hours are finished.
But I thought she came to see us.
Well, of course she came to see us, Hubert. I mean, she would, wouldn't she? We're her husband's physicians. Well, at least Hubert is.
Am I?
Leslie, B ward.
Doesn't matter what word.
I'm usually very good with names. Mr. Leslie, you say?
Yes, Leslie.
What's he in the hospital for?
Test.
Operation.
Mrs. Leslie was telling me that we admitted him for tests, and we decided to operate.
He came in for tests.
Yeah, nothing serious, suspected gout.
And we operated.
Yes, for piles.
Good heavens.
He came in for tests, and we operated.
And we obviously discovered that he had piles. I mean, for goodness sakes, we are very thorough at this hospital, Hubert, so stop making such a fuss.
Doctor's common room, Dr. Bonnie. No, I don't think so. Hold on. Reception downstairs is looking for a Mrs. Tate.
Oh, thank you. Hello?
I thought she was Mrs. Leslie.
Yes, this is Mrs. Tate speaking.
She is. The fellow who came a cropper in the Himalayas was Mr. Tate. So sometimes she's known as Mr. Tate, and sometimes she's known as Mrs. Tate, and sometimes she's known as Mrs. Leslie. So she was telling me.
So are you saying Nurse Tate married a man named Tate?
Shut up, Hubert.
Nurse
Tate.
Yes, before she married Mr. Tate, she was a nurse called Tate. Shut up, Hubert.
Yes, I'll hang on for him.
Yeah, you know, you really shouldn't be taking personal calls up here, Mrs. Leslie.
The sergeant wants to talk to me.
Well, then go down and talk to him.
The sergeant?
Yes, the fellow who's trying to get Mr. Leslie to attend the Army reunion.
And the sergeant called at our reception.
Yes, he's very keen.
Yes, I am, but there's been a slight problem up here.
Dr. Bonnie, haven't you told Mr. Leslie that he's in no fit state to attend regimental functions?
No?
Oh, God. Les is getting agitated again.
We'll go down and take him away.
Les,
Yeah, that's her little dog.
Yes.
little dog.
Just take care of him until I'll get there.
Hey, he's apparently neurotic.
Oh, yes, right away. I told you Leslie going to crack up.
Well, then go down and comfort him.
Leslie.
Yes, sometimes she calls the dog Les, and sometimes she calls it Leslie.
Well, if you're called Leslie, isn't that rather confusing?
Oh, no, because I don't let my husband in the bed. Are you sure you're not going to see him?
Dr. Mortimer is a physician, not a vet.
Well, you go along and I'll ring you up and try and see the little fellow as soon as possible.
Really?
Well, sometimes one has to put oneself out. Whatever you do, don't let that neurotic animal appear, though. What does the sign out front of the hospital say, Dr. Bonnie?
St. Andrews.
No dogs allowed.
Dr. Bonnie will see you to the lift.
Yes, but no further.
This way, my dear.
He'll probably go berserk. You realize that?
Have you ever considered castration?
That might be a good idea, actually. Now, whatever you do, no further than the left, Dr. Bonnie. Don't go downstairs. Damn dog's obviously vicious.
What an extraordinary woman.
Isn't she just? You would think that she'd be more concerned with her sick husband than with the wretched dog. Well, let's go speak with Sir Willoughby, and then I have to prepare myself to meet 200 neurologists.
Dr. Mortimer, Sir Willoughby Drake wants me to let you know that he's getting very cross.
We're on our way, Nurse Mary.
Nurse Mary, what do you know of a Mr. Leslie?
Leslie?
It really is no concern of ours, Rosemary.
We believe he's in B ward.
Leslie B.
Wait,
Ward. It
don't-
doesn't ring a bell.
Don't worry about it, Nurse Mary. As you go on about your business.
But we don't want that woman to cause trouble. It seems as though she could be as neurotic as her dog.
Dog.
It's all right, Nurse Mary. Don't worry about it.
Nurse Mary, could you please check? See, Mr. Leslie was admitted for gout and operated on for piles.
We admitted him
For gout,
and
yes.
we operated
For piles, yes. For heaven's sakes, Nurse Mary, don't tell me you've never heard of piles, a varicose condition of your rectum.
Really?
David!
Come in.
Oh, I was looking for Dr. Mortimer,
He's not here, and I wouldn't bother him now.
but he's Father Christmas and he'll need a list for the patient's presents.
See him after the Ponsonby lecture. He is in a foul mood. What do you know about Mr. Leslie?
Leslie?
A patient in B ward.
Don't recognize the name.
Dr. Mortimer wants to see him.
What's Mr. Leslie in for?
I have no idea. Gout, piles, take your pick.
I'll see what I can find out.
Forgot my coat. My God, how do I look?
Like a varicose condition of your rectum.
Poverty, bankruptcy. Dr. Mortimer speaking. Nurse Tate, are you still here? What do you mean when you got down there, Les wasn't gone looking for you? How did he get away from the sergeant? Kicked him in the where? Oh my God. No, he hasn't come up here. I'd like to rephrase that last remark.
Is this the doctor's common room?
Yes it is, and it is strictly for the use of the doctors.
I'm looking for my mom.
Your mom?
Yeah. She was just up here talking to one of the doctors.
Oh yes, there was a woman on her way out as I arrived. She probably went down the lift as you came up the stairs.
Are you one of the doctors here?
I beg your pardon?
Are you a doctor here?
No. I'm a patient, yes. I'm a patient, yes, recuperating from gout and piles. And when you're recuperating, they like you to do a little bit of clerical work. Now, why don't you go find your mother?
Rotten swine.
I beg your pardon?
He's a rotten swine.
Who is?
My rotten dad.
No, he's not.
How do you know?
Well, I'm sure he isn't. Dads aren't rotten.
Well, mine is, and I'd like to thump him one.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. And I'm going to stay right here until I've seen every doctor in this hospital.
You discuss it with your mother?
Oh, I feel sick.
Oh my God. Up you come.
I feel sick.
Well, and if you feel sick, you'll feel much nicer to be with your mother.
But I want to see my dad first.
Well, I'll see you to the lift.
I didn't mean it about thumping him.
Just let go of me.
How much longer do you expect me to?
This is private. Get a hold of yourself. Oh, God. It's all right, Nurse Mary. He's just upset. That's all.
Upset?
It's all right. His mother is in the hospital.
What ward is she in?
Never mind. I'll sort it out.
But it's my dad that I'm looking for.
What ward is he in?
Nurse Mary, I'll sort it out. Just go on about your business.
Well, actually, I came to apologize for my rather offensive remark earlier.
It was nothing.
Well, it was crude.
Well, most kind. Apology accepted.
Thank you, doctor.
She called you doctor.
Yes, she did.
You said you were a patient.
I am a patient. I am a patient who's a doctor. A doctor of divinity.
Divinity?
You probably don't know what a doctor of divinity is.
A clergyman.
Yes, that's right. I am a clergyman recovering from gout and piles.
Why are you wearing a funny collar?
Because I'm unorthodox. Now, why don't you go find your mother?
I'm not going anywhere till I've seen my dad.
But you can't stay here. The doctor's common room is strictly for the doctors.
I don't
Unless you're
care.
a patient recuperating. Don't take that bloody attitude, my child.
Well, wasn't that nice scene? Oh, who's this?
Yeah, it's all right. He's just lost his mother.
Oh no, what did she die of?
Never mind. Just help me get him downstairs.
The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh
Never
away.
mind.
You leave me alone. And tell the Reverend to leave me alone too.
Reverend,
Yeah. Have somebody put him back to bed.
losing his mother's obviously affected him.
But it's my dad that I lost.
Oh no, not him as well.
Oh, he's just mislaid his father is all.
Oh, thank heavens. That would be awful to lose two parents in one day.
Excuse me, Dr. Mortimer.
Dr. Mortimer is not here.
I beg your pardon.
No, Dr. Mortimer is enjoying his Christmas vacation.
But I only want to ask about the patient's
But then
private-
you'll have to ask Dr. Mortimer when he gets back, won't you? Off with you.
And I can't find Mr. Leslie in B ward.
Well, then you'll just have to tell Dr. Mortimer when he gets back, won't we? Off! 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 Off!
Are you all right, David?
No, Dr. Bonnie, I'm not. And the sooner that I can be returned to the comfort of my bed, in the safety of my ward, the happier I'll be.
The comfort of,
My bed.
in the safety of...
My ward. Just help me get him up.
The Lord giveth, and the Lord
Shut up.
David! What on earth did you do to so want
Nothing.
Well, he says he'll give you no assistance in your speech. And if you make a mistake in your lecture, God help him.
But that's fair enough. Rosemary, why don't you run along and find a seat in the lecture hall?
But it doesn't start for another. Who's this?
Oh, he'll be all right.
His mother's just died.
Hubert!
Oh no! There. The Lord giveth. The
Oh,
Lord
Rosemary.
I want to see my dad.
Oh, knock that off.
My dad's here somewhere. I know he is.
You must be a comfort to your father now.
Rosemary, I must insist that you leave these matters to us, or
Oh.
at least the doctor here.
Was she a patient?
Who?
The boy's mother.
No, she was DOA.
Dear!
DOA.
Dead on arrival.
What a morning! What did the poor woman die of?
Hit by a number 34 bus in Camden Town.
Oh dear!
I think I feel sick.
Oh God, be with you.
Oh, that'll be good for him. Into the bathroom.
Yes.
Rosemary, I really must insist you leave these matters to the hospital staff.
Come on, Dr. Bonnie. We're rehearsing. Shh. He's the villain of my piece.
But his mother's just died.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Dr. Bonnie.
Oh,
Still, she must have been getting pretty old. You are pushing on a bit.
His mother,
Oh.
And she came COD.
DOA actually. My
just take him into one of the wards.
Don't be silly. Into the bathroom.
Have a Christmas cookie, sweetie?
He wants to be sick?
Oh, this will bring that on a treat. I want to see my mother.
She's in better hands than ours now.
Oh, thank you, Rosemary.
She's going downstairs.
Oh, no, she hasn't. I'm sure she hasn't. She'll be up there somewhere.
No, she won't. The Reverend definitely told me she went downstairs.
What a thing for a reverend to say.
The boy needs his father here.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, I do. Probably in the mortuary with the mother.
Is your father somewhere in the hospital?
Yep. My mom was just up here talking to him.
Talking to him.
Yes, that was before she passed on.
But I thought she was DOA.
Well, one of the doctors here gave her the kiss of life, and she came to long enough to say a few words before she succumbed again permanently.
What are you lot whispering about?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yes, it's all right. Your mother came to, said a few final words, and then very peacefully died.
Mom died?
I think he's in shock.
I know how he feels.
Mom spoke to Dad and then died?
Very peaceful.
That rotten bastard killed my mom!
Easy, easy.
No, it was the number 34 bus.
He killed her with the 34 bus? It was an accident! Some bloody accident, the murdering swine! Okay, sweetie. Now.
Go tell Nurse Mary to fill a syringe with Thorazine.
Thorazine.
Yeah, 50 milligrams. No, better make it 100 milligrams and quick.
Oh, I think I feel sick. Come on, the bathroom. You closed it for 18 years and then hit through with a double-decker?
Your father's not to blame.
My father.
Oh, shut up.
I bet he'd like to kill me, too. I want to go and have it out with him. Oh, steady, steady. I think Dr. Mortimer should come give us a hand.
Good idea.
Dr. Mortimer is not here. I keep telling people this. No one seems to listen. Dr. Mortimer is enjoying his Christmas break.
Is Dr. Mortimer okay?
Dr. Mortimer is fine as far as I know. He just is not prepared to work overtime, and it's as simple as that.
Come on. How the hell did he get a hold of a double-decker?
Hello? Nurse Tate? The sergeant's on his way up here. You were supposed to be keeping him busy. No, you stay there.
Mrs. Mortimer asked me to prepare a syringe for the neurotic youth.
Yes, excellent.
This is highly irregular. I haven't seen his medical card or anything.
Just do as you're told, Nurse Mary.
Nurse Mary can turn ugly.
There's no answer to that. He's in there with Dr. Connolly.
He's vomiting at the moment.
Oh, Don't you think 100 milligrams is a bit much?
I'd like to give him 1,000.
1,000.
100 milligrams won't kill him. Just give him the injection.
He's in a state of shock, you see.
Nurse Mary doesn't need a diagnosis, Hubert.
His mother was brought in DOA.
DOA?
Just, yes, hit by a number 34 bus in Camden Town. Just go in and give him the injection, you old bat! If there's any left over, stick the rest in, Nurse Mary. Excuse me, sir. Sergeant, Dr. David Mortimer. How can I help you?
I'm looking for a young lad, sir.
Will any do, or are you looking for a particular one?
A particular young lad, sir. Age about 18 years, medium build, spiky haircut. Wears an earring.
Anything distinctive about him?
Well, he's in a bit of a state to do with his father.
Oh, dear. What does his father have to do with St. Andrews?
The boy has some convoluted story about his father secretly being one of the doctors here.
No.
Yes. The boy's mother's down at reception, too.
No.
Yes. The lad just wants to find his father, but from what I gather, this medico's not keen to be found.
Well, I certainly haven't seen any excitable youth this morning, but if I do, I'll send him right along to you, Sergeant.
I wouldn't advise attempting to apprehend him yourself, Doctor. He's just gone and kicked me and the Three Musketeers. You know, Athos, Aramis, and Humongous.
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance.
That's okay. I'll head back down to the reception and see if the mother's there.
Keep still. Get away from me. Steady. I'm sitting on it. That is me, doctor.
We need some. Oh.
Sergeant, this is my colleague, Dr. Bonnie. Dr. Bonnie, how are rehearsals going?
Rehearsals.
Yes, Sweeney Todd sketch, isn't it? Or Jack the Ripper. Patients always love that one. Ahoy in front and avast behind. With pleasure. It's Mother Goose. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance to you, Sergeant.
I'll say good morning then.
And you said it quite nicely, too.
I'm getting worried about you, David.
Join the club. Now just go give him the injection.
Dr. Mortimer?
Nurse Tate, go and keep an eye on that sergeant, will you?
I got worried about Les.
Les is fine.
He's on the window ledge.
What?
Who has?
A young lad who's lost his mother.
Oh, Hubert!
He's on the window ledge and he won't come back in.
Oh my God.
He says he won't come back in unless we give him his father.
Now you'll have to tell Les.
And something happened to the dog.
Never mind.
Somebody call for the police.
What
No,
happened?
no, we don't need the police, Nurse Mary. We're quite capable of dealing with an unbalanced youth.
Well, he's not balancing very well at the moment.
I'll get that sergeant up here.
No, we don't want him back again.
Leslie's life's in danger.
Has the dog had an accident?
Reception?
Oh, shut up! It'll all come out.
I'm sorry. Go and keep him talking, nurse.
And who are you, madam?
I'm the boy's mother.
Mother?
Mother?
Oh my God!
There's a police sergeant down there somewhere. Could you please send him up to the doctor's common room? It's an emergency.
But the boy's mother is DOA.
The boy's mother is H-E-R-E.
Is Miss Tate that young boy's mother?
Hubert, I think the time has come.
What for?
To confide in you now, Hubert. Listen closely. I'm only going to say this once, and I'm going to say it very fast. It concerns Nurse Tate.
Mrs. Leslie.
Yeah, don't interrupt, please.
Sorry.
That's all right. Now, look, that young lad is Nurse Tate's son.
But I thought you didn't have any family.
That's a little white lie. He's her illegitimate son.
Illegitimate.
She's never been married.
Never been. But what about her first husband, the one who fell in the Himalayas?
Rubbish.
And her second husband? Mr. Leslie with his gout?
Rubbish.
And his piles?
Piles of rubbish. She's never been married. The boy is the result of a liaison between Nurse Tate and a young doctor at this hospital 19 years ago.
Good God!
Oh, that surprises you, does it?
It certainly does.
Well, you better hold tight then. The boy's father is,
Yes?
is you.
Me?
Yes, Hubert, you.
But I assure you, I never touched Nurse Tate.
I know you didn't, but I can't very well own up to it, can I, you fool?
Me, Nurse Tate? What do you mean you own up to it?
Rosemary would make my life utter hell. The Ponsonby lecture would go up in a puff of smoke. I could say goodbye to being named head physician of St. Andrews. And as for knighthood, well...
Hang on a second. Are you saying you're the father of the boy through there?
Well done, Hubert.
You and Nurse Tate?
You put 2 and 2 together quite nicely.
My whole world's turning upside down.
Mine's not too steady either.
But the boy doesn't even appear to know you.
All the boy knows is that his father was a young doctor at this hospital 19 years ago and that he still works here. You fit the bill perfectly.
With one tiny exception. I never seduced Nurse Tate.
Well, you would have done had you had half a chance.
That's besides the point.
Hubert, I can't own up to it now. I've already told the boy that I'm a clergyman recovering from gout and piles.
What?
Well, if you're going to tell a lie, tell a whopper. You've got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose?
Well, you're not delivering the Ponsonby lecture at 12 o'clock, are you?
No, maybe not.
And you're not in danger of being nominated for head physician of St. Andrews?
Well, maybe not.
And you're not even in line for an American Express card, let alone a knighthood.
I don't see what... I've already got an American Express card.
Above all, you don't have a wife to worry about?
No, but I have a dippy old mother to worry about.
A dippy old... My wife is in this hospital stocking the corridor.
And my mother's at home, stuffing the turkey.
Well, if Rosemary finds out, it'll be more than the turkey that gets stuffed.
That's still no good reason for me to adopt your son.
It'll only be for an hour or so. All you have to do is introduce yourself to Leslie as his
What's the dog got to do with this?
There is no dog. The boy's name is Leslie.
Same as the fellow with gout.
That was Mr. Leslie. Only there is no Mr. Leslie. Hubert, erase Mr. Leslie, Mr. Tate, the dog, the dead mother, and the 34 bus. Erase them all from your mind. The boy's name is Leslie. And all you have to do is introduce yourself to Leslie as his long-lost daddy, and then accompany him down to the police station.
Police station?
There are a few minor formalities regarding motoring offenses.
Oh my God.
As soon as I'm done with my lecture, I'll go down and tell Leslie the truth.
You will?
Of course I will. Piece of cake.
It's a hell of a thing to ask.
And my letter to the hospital board of governors will be in the post tonight.
What letter?
Recommending you for dean of the faculty.
Dean of the faculty.
Dean of the faculty.
That's bribery.
Your diagnoses were always spot on, Hubert. Hubert, please, I'm desperate.
We don't even know that Nurse Tate will go along with this.
She'll have no alternative.
No, I'm not good at this sort of thing.
Nonsense! You're one of the stalwarts of St. Andrew's operatic and theatrical group.
But this is for real. I'll never get away with it.
Of course you will. It's only for a half an hour at most.
No, really, I can't.
Of course you can. Nothing can go wrong.
I've heard that before.
Hubert, you're my only chance.
Ask Dr. Connolly to do it.
Oh, don't be daft! Connolly was like 7 years old when Leslie was born. And plus, I don't think he, It has to be you, Hubert.
There's got to be somebody else you can ask.
There's no time.
I'll have to think about it.
There's no time, Hubert, and there's no one else who can help me. It's only you.
Surely one of the older doctors here.
There's no one else who can help me.
God Almighty!
Well, he's about the only one.
Nurse Mary!
Oh, don't be daft. How can Nurse Mary be the boy's father? Oh, I don't know, though. No, it has to be you. God Almighty!
Hold tight, Nurse Mary!
He's got the syringe. Don't be silly.
Get away from me!
You naughty boy!
Get away from me, I said!
Ow!
I told you to get away!
Oh, I've been injected with 100 milligrams of Thorazine.
Dr. Connolly, where are you going?
To get a doctor! Connolly, you are a doctor!
Some other doctor.
Why, for heaven's sake?
I'm afraid of heights.
Oh. to drive.
Dr. Mortimer!
There you are, Sir Willoughby.
You are perfectly at liberty to ignore the suggestion I could possibly be of assistance with your speech.
Oh, thank you, sir. No help required.
However, it is now 11:38,
I make it 11:37.
and the first of the delegates are starting to arrive for your lecture.
And they're in for a good one.
I'm slipping, I'm slipping.
I'm slipping! I'm slipping!
Well, really then, Dr. Bonnie, get down, and thanks for fixing the draft. Allow me to get you a drink, Sir Willoughby.
Never mind a drink. It's customary for the Ponsonby lecturer to welcome his fellow physicians.
Yes, well, I don't think I hold with that.
What?
No, I'm the star of the show, and I don't think I should be seen until I make my big entrance.
I see.
Help!
Help!
Sorry about this. He was, fell out of a treehouse when he was a kid and landed on his head. Really, Dr. Bonnie, you're a big boy now. Just jump.
Oh, so you would like to make a big entrance, would you, Dr. Mortimer?
Yes, with a fanfare.
You idiot!
You idiot!
Right, now. Good morning again, sergeants.
What's happening here? And where's that boy?
Happening? Nothing's happening. It's been a very slack morning so far.
I received a phone call from Miss Tate to come up here urgent.
Yes, and it was urgent, but it isn't now.
About her balmy young lad, wasn't it?
Yes. She convinced him to accompany her to your police station.
West End Central?
Yes, West End Central. They left 5 minutes ago.
I'll get back there right away then.
Oh, very good. You'll find him as meek as a kitten.
I'm falling!
I'm falling in love again. Never wanted to. What's a girl to do? I can't help it.
Very good. Still rehearsing.
Mommy! Mammy! Mammy! The sun shines east, the sun shines west. I know where the sun shines best. It's my mammy I'm talking about. Don't you know me? It's your baby. I'd walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles. It's my mammy.
Very good, Cliff Richard. Pantomime opens on Boxing Day. Please do stop by.
Oh, no, thank you. No, Christmas is a busy time for the Fourth. I'll get back to the station then.
And may the force be with you.
Hold tight, Nurse Mary.
That's a bloody silly thing to say.
Are you all right, Nurse Mary?
Who's that?
Just hold on, Nurse Mary. Hubert, go downstairs and try to grab Nurse Mary from underneath.
Right. When you say grab him from underneath.
Just hurry up! Hang on, Nurse Mary. Nurse Mary, see if you can't kick in the window on the floor below.
Oh, I don't think I can hold on much longer.
Where is that idiot Hubert?
Rowdy.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Nurse Mary is hanging on by her fingertips, sister.
Well, Christmas is always hectic, but she mustn't give way.
Just get out!
And to have my own room at last, am I?
Excuse me?
Oh, and you've given me my own bar.
Crazy old coot. Nurse Tate, out the corridor, there's a hose reel. Go grab it.
You're not going to hit her, are you?
I'm going to try and pull her up. Just get it.
Don't leave me alone with the memory.
No, just never mind. Just hurry.
Don't leave me, Mom.
Ow. Hang on, Nurse Mary.
Oh, I want to go to sleep.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Help is on the way. Where is that Hubert? She went over the edge.
Oh.
Oh, Dr. Bonnie caught her. They're on the floor below. Go down and see if you can help.
I don't know about Nurse Mary, but I'm gonna be queasy.
Now you, get in here.
I'm not moving until I've seen my dad.
Your dad is very busy being a hero.
A hero?
Yeah, he just saved Nurse Mary.
That's my dad?
Yes!
That funny little man is my
I
dad?
said yes, so you can come in now.
Dad!
Careful!
I found him! That's amazing! It's fantastic! I found him!
Have a cuddle. I'm broad-minded.
Right, let's go meet your dad.
I couldn't find a hose reel.
It's all right, it doesn't matter now.
Mom, I found Dad!
I'm so happy for both of you.
Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah, we really should go down to the floor below. And meet your dad.
I think he went over the ledge. I think I heard it splat.
They're treating Nurse Mary for cuts and bruises.
My hero. Hello, Dad.
Hello, son.
Is my private room always going to be this crowded?
Somehow I knew he'd be brave.
Brave? Who?
My dad.
Dad? Dr. Bonnie?
Oh, I love that name, Bonnie. My Bonnie dad.
What the dickens have you told him?
I told him exactly what Dr. Bonnie asked me to tell him, that he's Les's long-lost dad.
And we feel fantastic, don't we, Dad?
See? There you are. They feel fantastic. Now, why don't you all pop along to West End Central Police Station?
Come on, Dad.
Why don't you say something?
I had nothing to say now.
Hubert, say something.
Oh, I love that name, Hubert.
My name's Bill, by the way.
Dr. Hubert Bonnie. We've got so much to learn about each other, haven't we, Dad?
Yes?
Hubert, I just can't let you...
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Can't you see how happy the boy is?
Happy just isn't the word.
And you want him to be happy, don't you? I mean, just look at the pair of them. Well, look at Leslie, anyway.
Who's your lady friend? Who's the little girlie by your side?
Reception. I want you to order a taxi for Dr. Bonnie. It's for the best, I promise you.
Who's best?
Leslie's best. You don't want him to have a relapse, do you?
Relax.
It's all right.
No, we can't wait 2 minutes. It's an emergency. And if you can't get a taxi, they'll take an ambulance.
Why should I have a relapse? There isn't anything you haven't told me, is there, Dad?
No, that's enough for one day, son.
Look, if you're worried about you and my mom in the past,
No, it's more like me, your mother, and the future.
Dr. Bonnie will take you all down to the taxi.
oh, there's so much I want to learn about the family, Dad. I feel like a book with the first couple of pages missing.
Yes, well, the first couple pages are always so terribly dreary.
I mean, for instance, I've got a whole new set of grandparents, haven't I?
Yes, and your dad will tell you all about them on the way to the police station.
And hey, I've got cousins too, all over the place.
Very distant ones. Yes, now goodbye, everybody.
Can't you see what this means to me? I have their genes.
Well, we'll have them cleaned and sent back.
I want you two to know that I'm very together now. Truly blissfully happy.
And there we are. We're all happy.
No. I'm not happy. I'm sharing this room with everybody.
Thank you. Off you all go then.
David, what's going on up here?
Going on. Nothing. Very quiet morning so far.
David, Nurse Mary fell out of this window.
Oh, yes, that.
And your lecture starts in 15 minutes.
Right. Well, I'm on my way. You'll forgive me if I don't see you all off.
Oh, I hope your gout and piles clear up, Reverend.
Ha! Have Have they found your father yet?
Oh yeah.
But
What a relief.
he can't tell you who it is.
Is he going to look after you?
Oh yes.
But he can't tell me who it is.
No, no one can.
I can. It's him. Oh, surprise.
Oh yes, you'll get a prize.
Oh, wait a minute. Is Dr. Bonnie your father?
Well, I didn't say anything. But look at the profile.
Rosemary, there is a very simple explanation. Will you please get everybody down to the police station?
Police?
Oh, don't even ask, Rosemary.
Well, don't forget to take your little basket with you.
I beg your pardon.
Hey, don't talk to my mom like that.
I shall speak to your mom. I thought you said your mom had an unfortunate accident with the number 34 bus in Camden Town.
Oh, who's your lady friend? Who's a little girl by your side?
Hello. Excellent, thank you. You're going in the ambulance.
Well, are you ready to go?
Are you sure, Hubert?
Sergeant is waiting for us.
Okay, let's go.
What on earth happened since I was last here?
Oh, don't worry. The Reverend will have an explanation for everything.
Hubert!
Don't ask me. Ask the Reverend.
But there's one thing that puzzles me. The 34 bus doesn't go to Camden Town.
Right, well, off you go then.
Come on, Dad. Don't think about slow coach.
Don't get cheeky with your father, Leslie.
I thought Leslie was the dog.
It doesn't matter.
Fancy the lad having the same name as me. Leslie!
Right, let's go meet with Sir Willoughby then.
Wait a minute. Is your name Mr. Leslie?
Oh, yes, madam, I'm holding on to that. But my friends call me Bill. Do you know why?
No.
Because it's my name, madam, my name! But you can call me Mr. Leslie.
All right, well, let's go now.
Wait a minute. Is that funny woman in red married to this gentleman?
Yes.
What funny woman in red?
Mrs. Leslie.
The lady that just left.
Was that my wife?
She was visiting you this morning.
Has she? I thought she walked out of me years ago.
Yes, well, she came back to apologize. And, let's go, dear.
I must say, the little woman has worn amazingly well.
Right, wish me luck, darling.
David, how does Dr. Bonnie fit into all of this?
Not happily, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, wish me luck.
You wish.
What are you doing back here? Hubert, the suspense is killing me. Is it bad news? About your son? Darling, I'm sorry. I'm afraid you better tell Sir Willoughby that I'll be another 3 minutes.
Really?
Yes, well, Hubert is my oldest and dearest friend, and he has a problem, so I have to help him.
Well, David, they'll all be waiting for you.
I know.
I don't know what I can say to that man, Drake.
Oh, tell him the Spaniards are coming.
It's as good as anything else. Why aren't you at the police station with Leslie?
Leslie,
What about him?
we were just about to get in the ambulance when he was grabbed by that police sergeant.
Well, he's supposed to be at the police station too.
Apparently, when he was leaving the hospital, he saw Nurse Mary and Leslie out on the window ledge.
Oh my God.
According to the sergeant, now Leslie can be charged with attempted suicide, attempted murder, or both.
Just as long as they get Leslie out of St. Andrews and down to that police station.
No, Leslie's being held in our security office while the sergeant waits to question Nurse Mary.
Nurse Mary?
He's waiting for her to be released from casualty so she can make a statement.
Oh, hell.
She got a concussion, and her arm's in a sling.
She won't feel like helping Leslie, I can tell you that.
What about me? Leslie's down there telling everybody that I'm his long-lost bodyweight daddy.
Oh, shut up for a minute.
It's gonna be all over the hospital that I'm fathered an illegitimate son.
Well, just be thankful that they think you're capable of fathering anything. Now look, we need to make sure that that sergeant does not question Nurse Mary.
How do we do that?
Well, we've got to find somebody to play the part of Nurse Mary.
How do we do that?
I don't know, I'm waiting for inspiration to strike.
Right, let's get cracking up.
And I think it's struck.
This business with Nurse Mary has thrown me right out of gear. She was going to play the heroine, so I had to step in.
That is a good wife.
No.
Looking for somebody else to play the dead body now?
You can have him in a minute. Connolly, old chap.
Yes, sir.
How would you like to do Dr. Bonnie a big favor?
I'm a bit rushed at the moment.
And make yourself a couple $100?
Not all that rushed, actually.
Well, you like to dress up, don't you?
I fancy I'm pretty good at it.
Good at it? You're great at it, especially female parts.
Well, I've fooled some of the people, some of the time.
Hubert, necessity is the mother of invention. Do you know where you can find a nurse's outfit?
Nurse's outfit? Laundry, I suppose.
Excellent.
Are you thinking of introducing me as some sort of nurse in the melodrama?
Something like that, yes.
And for this, you're going to give me $200?
And a bonus if you succeed. Now, you run along, I'll meet you in the laundry at half a minute.
Terrific.
You can't ask him to impersonate Nurse Mary.
Connolly has decidedly female features.
Yes, but predominantly male fixtures.
I say, it's awfully good of you to provide all this entertainment for the wife and me.
Get me security. This is Dr. Mortimer, thank you. Security. Yes, you have a sergeant in your office, I believe. Wonderful. Will you please send him up to the doctor's common room? Tell him that we've arranged for Nurse Mary to meet him here, and he can question her up here.
Please, we're in enough trouble as it is.
Yes, tell him it's nice and private, and they can do the interview over a Christmas tree.
If my mother hears about this, it'll kill her.
Well, nothing else has managed to polish her off. Now you ring casualty and make sure they keep Nurse Mary there as long as possible. I'll go fill Connolly in. Good luck, Hubert.
Thank you. Wait, what do you mean good luck? What have I got to do?
Make sure nothing goes wrong, of course.
I'm not going to be here.
Of course you are. When Connolly comes in and tells the sergeant that he was out on the ledge for a bit of Christmas fun, you agree with him.
Connolly? He wasn't on the window ledge.
He's going to be Nurse Mary, you fool.
Mortimer,
Ah, surely.
I'm waiting to introduce you, Doctor.
We have 5 minutes yet.
Get out there.
Right, I need to stop off in the laundry on my way.
Much more of this, and we'll all have to make a stop at the laundry.
Oh, this is so much fun. Who's your lady friend? Who's that little girlie by your side?
Hello, casualty, Dr. Bonnie. Is Nurse Mary down there? No, don't release her. I want you to run every available test. Heart, urine, bowels, the lot. Make it thorough. Take your time. Bye.
Come in, whoever you are.
I was expecting to find Nurse Mary here.
She's on her way.
And I think you should be getting back to that son of yours, Doctor.
Is Leslie playing around again?
Well, his mother's coping as best she can, but this is a serious business your lad's in.
I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
Well, we'll just have to see what Nurse Mary has to say.
I'm sure Nurse Mary's fine.
Except for her fixtures, of course.
This is Mr. Leslie, one of our long-term patients. Would you like to return to your ward, Mr. Leslie?
No, I'd much prefer it here. The Cumberland's, my wife has turned up rather unexpectedly.
Has she?
And would you believe it, there's no bed.
We'll sort that out later, Mr. Leslie.
Well, she went up with you just now.
Who did?
They're so dense, these doctors. My wife, you took her out through there just a little while ago.
Of course, Mrs. Leslie.
Dense. You can send her back in if she's ready. She looks to be in pretty good form.
She's downstairs at the moment in the security office. As I was saying, Sergeant.
Excuse me, Doctor. Is the lady waiting downstairs married to this gentleman?
I think so, yes.
Well, I somehow assumed that because you and the lady were the boy's parents, I mean, you are the boy's father.
Yes.
So then he's the boy's stepfather?
Yes, but I wouldn't worry him with that right now.
Well, he certainly has an attractive young lady wife.
Hasn't he just?
You've done very well for yourself, sir.
And would you believe I started out behind the counter when I was only 13?
Mr. Leslie comes and goes. That's what happens when you marry a younger woman.
I thought that kind of thing made you go blind. Well, the goings-on at St. Andrews certainly have Coronation Street beat.
Like I said, Sergeant, relations in the hospital are a bit confused at the moment.
Well, mine are pretty straightforward, as it were.
Your what, Sergeant?
My relations in this hospital. My young nephew's on the staff here.
Is he?
Yeah, perhaps you know him, Dr. Connolly?
Dr. Connolly's your nephew.
He is my brother's lad, a bit of a daft bugger.
I don't know about that.
Always into some sort of Tom or Joe or Bill.
Excuse me for a moment. Dr. Mortimer, Mayday. Mayday. Mayday!
What's happened?
I need to contact Dr. Mortimer.
What for?
We prescribed the wrong treatment.
The wrong treatment?
For Nurse Mary's condition. Excuse me. Dr. Mortimer, to the common room. Emergency. Emergency. Emergency!
Dr. Mortimer said something about a Christmas drinky?
That's right, Sergeant. Why don't you have yourself a brandy?
Yeah, I'm on duty, Doctor, so I'll have a single.
Yes, a single. No! No, no! I said a single. Yes, a single. Dr. Mortimer, to the common room. Dr. Mortimer! Emergency!
What the hell is going on?
We prescribed the wrong treatment.
The wrong... Sir Willoughby Drake was in the middle. You're supposed to be giving the sergeant a drink.
I did give Sergeant Connolly a drink.
Lovely, you gave him a drink then.
Well, Sergeant Connolly? Do you have any business, Sergeant Connolly? Enjoying that double, Sergeant Connolly.
What is wrong with you?
We're having a bit of an emergency.
Right. So what's the emergency? And where is our Nurse Mary?
Ah, that's right. That is the emergency.
What is the matter with you?
He's prescribed the wrong treatment.
That's right, Sergeant Connolly. Thank you, Sergeant Connolly. Water or soda? Sergeant Connolly.
Why are you shouting, Hubert?
I'm not shouting, Hubert.
Drink, I wouldn't say no to a little double.
Right.
Thank you, Sergeant Connolly.
You're welcome, Dr. Bonnie.
All right, I've got to get back to my lecture. You have fun.
No.
I'll have a splash of soda.
A splash of soda, right.
Yes, now I can go to my lecture. Thank you.
No, you gotta come back here and give Sergeant Connolly his soda.
All right. Say when, Sergeant Connolly.
Say when, Sergeant
Connolly! I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Get him a towel. You're standing right there. Connolly.
All right.
What a thing to do to Dr. Connolly's uncle!
Uncle! Hey! I'm so sorry. Oh. I've been working very long hours this week.
I think you should give that to me.
I don't think so.
He had 6 operations before breakfast.
Did they all survive? Thank you. Not now. Funny, huh? Where has Nurse Mary gotten to? Why don't you go and make sure that Nurse Mary doesn't get back! I'm so sorry. That was a damn silly thing to do. It's been a really long morning.
Look, if your Nurse Mary's not going to come to me, I will go find her in casualty.
No. Nurse Mary is coming.
When?
That is a very good question. I think that I'd better go find one. Find Nurse Mary.
Dr. Mortimer!
And this is all on the National Health Service! Don't think so hard, it's not an inside job.
Oh my God! Has anyone seen Dr. Mortimer, for heaven's sake?
I think he's gone for a refill.
A refill.
Dr. Mortimer is finding Nurse Mary for me.
Nurse Mary.
What's everybody playing at in this hospital?
Water sports!
Where's that idiot got to?
Would that be the tall, thin idiot or the short idiot?
There seems to be some kind of emergency, Sir Willoughby.
There certainly is. I've already delivered 3 versions of my introductory speech.
Oh dear.
And not one word of the lecture yet, and the delegates are already on their second coffee break.
Why don't I go down and keep the junior health minister happy?
It's not a question of keeping him happy, but making him happy.
Leave him to me.
I say. If the tall, thin idiot doesn't show up, I'm betting there's many funny speeches.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I like the squirty bit best. How about you? Well, here you have it though next time.
Thanks, I will.
I wonder what they've got laid up for us next.
You must be Nurse Mary.
Good morning. Yes, well, I am the Nurse Mary.
Sergeant Connolly, West End Central.
I will come too close. We've got gangrene in the hospital.
Oh.
And I had an opportunity to wash my hands this morning.
Ew.
So business!
Told me there was going to be 2 Nurse Marys in this hospital.
Yes, no one told me either. You'd be questioning the other Nurse Mary. She's ear, nose, and throat Nurse Mary, and I'm surgical Nurse Mary. So what has the ear, nose, and throat been telling you?
Well, I was just about to confess.
I guess about the young lad on the
incident on the window ledge, you were struggling with the youth.
No, not struggling. We were cuddling. You see, I had a wee bit too much of the Christmas punch, and it went straight to my loins.
That's her! The drunken slut!
Excuse me, are those balloons up?
But you won't be preferring any charges against the young lad, will you?
Well, I need to speak to the Reverend first.
Reverend?
Yes, the young man said there was a Reverend present that witnessed the entire incident.
Nurse, do you remember a Reverend?
No, ear, nose, and throat.
No, Reverend.
Of course there was. The Reverend with the gout and the piles.
Look, I won't keep the Reverend a minute. He's a patient here, I gather.
But it's not really necessary, is it, Sergeant?
Look, the sooner I see the Reverend, the sooner I can take that bottle and go home.
You better go and find him, ear, nose, and throat.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, I still...
Oh, don't get too close, Sergeant. I've been in the typhoid wing all morning.
Typhoid?
Well, it's totally under control.
Good.
But I'm not so certain about the Legionnaire's disease.
I still don't understand how the pair of you ended up with your arms in a sling.
What do you think?
You were about to tell me how you injured your arm.
Yes. Well, that happened in the second session.
The second session?
Yes, what you witnessed with ear, nose, and throat on the ledge was the first session.
I still don't follow.
I'm getting a bit puzzled myself.
Quiet, you.
It's time for your enema.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that both ear, nose, and throat and you were trying to seduce the young man?
Yes.
Oh.
And I saw him first, too.
Good morning, Sergeant. Top of the morning to you. Bagora.
Good morning, Reverend.
Come in, Reverend. Join the congregation.
No, I won't come too close. Both me gout and me piles are flaring up.
This is an unhealthy hospital.
Well, Reverend.
Yes, my daughter.
Reverend, the sergeant wanted to ask you if you could cooperate.
The sergeant can speak for himself, Nurse Mary.
Of course.
Now, Reverend, would you please corroborate that the young man had no criminal intent during the incident you witnessed on the window ledge?
Yea, verily.
There we are.
Right, I can close my inquiries and take the boy to the station.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Will you please contact Dr. Bonnie and have him meet me in reception?
Yes, of course, I shall contact Dr. Bonnie.
Please make an urgent call.
Oh, it'll be an urgent call, all right.
And you, please leave your stepson to Dr. Bonnie.
Oh, I will.
Perfect. Thank you.
Let us pray. I'll never forgive you for today, David.
Has Uncle gone?
Connolly, why have you never said you had an uncle on the police force?
Didn't seem relevant.
Damn fool.
I forgot my note.
That you miss Mary third section.
Oh, no.
This hospital needs
So sudden, Dr. Mortimer.
Oh, this is no time for levity. My career's on the line.
David! The delegates are getting restless. Nurse Mary,
Oh, I think he's just come out.
Well, if you see him before I do, would you please tell him the delegates are getting restless?
I'm going to the police station, and when I get back, you better have it damn good.
It's all right, madam. They're merely rehearsing a scene from 50 Shades of Grey. Excuse me, madam. What are those balloons up top?
Connolly, return Mr. Leslie from whence he came.
When do I get my $200?
After you return Mr. Leslie from whence he came.
Off we go then. No, I prefer it here. So long as I get the double bed for me and my wife.
You're going back to your friends in the C ward.
All right, but I wanted to take the squirt bottle back to liven up the old Cosby's kitty out.
Evidence now.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's me, Nurse Mary.
Oh, Dr. Mortimer, they told me there was a sergeant here waiting to take my statement.
It's all right, Nurse Mary. He left completely satisfied. You can return to your duties.
I don't feel like I'm quite up to that. I'm feeling quite drowsy.
Well, you have had 100 milligrams of Thorazine.
I thought it was 50.
Whatever. You just rest there for a while.
For God's sakes, Mortimer, there's pandemonium going on out there.
I'm on my way, Sir Willoughby.
Get out there and start your speech, for God's sakes.
Right. Welcome, my fellow neurologists.
Nurse Mary, may I remind you that this common room is for the doctors?
I've had 50 or 100. I'm not sure which. I need air. Oh.
Quick! Get that uniform off! Come on! We have no time to lose! I'll help you let loose down below!
Dr. Bonnie?
Dr. Mortimer! The common room!
I think you owe me an explanation.
Of course.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, you just interfered with me just now.
I know.
Well, and then you said all hell had been let loose down below.
All hell has been let loose down below. In me. That's why I interfered with you now.
Oh, dear.
I've been suppressing it for so long that when I saw you there wounded, suddenly I couldn't control myself any longer. Help!
What's my uniform doing up here?
I was taking it home when I thought you were unobtainable. I was gonna cuddle with it.
Cuddle in my uniform?
I suppose you think that's foolish.
No, I don't.
Don't you?
No, I think it's very moving.
No!
I take a nap.
Have several?
I think it may be in order for you to tuck me in, Hubert.
Why don't you get in the bed and I'll meet you there.
Oh, Hubert. Hubert.
Dr. Mortimer, to the common room! Dr. Mortimer!
Hubert,
Thank God!
why aren't you at the police station with Leslie?
No, listen!
You know, it was bad enough walking in there with my trousers rolled up in that stupid wig.
Never mind your lecture. All hell's been let loose down in the security office.
Well, it's a total disaster in there. I was in the middle of the speech when your stupid voice started shouting over the PA again. Now Sir Willoughby has actually taken over my lecture and he's saying my words.
And my mother's taking over the security office.
He's actually delivering my lecture. Your mother?
The sergeant was about to question me and Leslie when my mother came in with the Christmas puddings.
Christmas puddings?
For the Christmas Day party, she always brings the puddings, the mince pies, and the crackers.
Shut up! Just get rid of her.
I can't. She's already introduced herself to Leslie, who introduced her to the sergeant. Sergeant introduced her back to Leslie, who thinks he's found his long-lost granny.
You know, I've got to go to deliver my lecture. You'll just have to deal with it.
Deal with it? Leslie's laughing and crying? Mother's fainted? And the sergeant's yelling?
I've got to deal with Sir Willoughby Drake.
Is he still having problem with those Spaniards?
What are you doing back here again?
They're in here.
No, you've got to return to your ward.
Oh, certainly not. It's full of old men.
Get out!
Dr. Bonnie! Oh.
It's the wife!
The sergeant says if you are not back within 2 minutes, he'll arrest both you and Leslie.
What about Mother?
Oh, she's having a cup of tea.
A cup of tea?
Lovely, I'll have one too. No cream, no sugar.
Mr. Leslie, will you please go?
I went this morning.
Lovely. Go again. It's through there.
Well, I don't have to go again.
I'll just try.
What about Mother?
Oh, she's fine. She and Leslie are getting on like a house on fire.
Wonderful. I can get back to my lecture.
No, you've got to come back here and tell my mother the truth.
They know the truth. You're his father, and they think it's wonderful.
No, I can't go on.
Please, Dr. Bonnie, you must.
Yes, you must.
It just isn't the time to break it to Leslie. He's just only found you.
But my mother's involved, as well as the police.
Hubert, don't think I'm ungrateful for what you've done already. You've been magnificent, more than magnificent.
Well, I did what I had to do.
You've been a revelation for me.
Have I?
In fact, you've touched me. Here.
You don't hang around much, do you? Look out, everybody! What are you doing back here?
I'm being chased by that ruddy sergeant.
Why?
Well, in the first place, Nurse Mary showed up at the security office.
And
She's
what
supposed to be waiting for me in bed.
You had a hell of a morning, haven't you?
Never mind that. What happened?
Well, when Nurse Mary said she was the one on the window ledge, the sergeant kind of hit the roof. And then he said he's going to come up here and question the other two Nurse Marys again.
What?
Oh, dear God.
He's probably going to arrest me for attempted murder.
Oh, poor baby.
Poor baby? Look, you go up to the roof and hide in the... Mrs. Bonnie?
It's my little Hubert.
Mother, you shouldn't be up here.
Oh, there you are. What did you say,
You should not be up here.
Oh, Hubert, that's bloody nonsense. If young lass is in a spotted trouble, well, he's gonna need his grandmother.
Mother, things aren't as they seem.
Oh, I know. And I really didn't think you had it in you.
Mother!
I'm very pleased it was with a nice girl like Nurse Taylor.
Oh, thank you.
I hate to interrupt this little family gathering, but if the sergeant and Nurse Mary find Leslie, that... The sergeant and Nurse Mary are getting out of the lift!
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, but I wasn't able to go.
Get back in there!
Don't tell me. Mother, you...
Dr. Bonnie's mother.
Just a moment, Sergeant. Nurse Kate, get Mr. Leslie back to the bathroom.
And take Mother with you.
Oh, you don't have to go to the bathroom, Hubert.
Don't put your foot in it.
Oh.
Is she
Get
a
in
real
there.
mother, or is she a balloon top mother?
Get in there. Just a moment, Sergeant. Get rid of him.
Dr. Mortimer.
Yeah, no one's in. Get rid of him.
Don't worry, Nurse Marion. We'll soon get to the bottom of this.
I can assure you that I'm the only Nurse Mary in this hospital.
Oh, wait. Dr. Bonnie, where's that son of yours?
Oh, he's just this minute gone back to the security office, Sergeant.
Who's that?
Who is it, Dr. Bonnie?
Mr. Leslie.
Oh.
There.
Mr. Leslie?
Yes. Excuse me.
Wait. The same old guy who was in that wheelchair just a few minutes ago?
The very same. Excuse me.
Wait. The same one who was bouncing up and down 5 minutes ago?
Yes. That's what gave him the cardiac arrest.
Poor old fellow.
Mrs. Leslie has taken it quite hard, hasn't she, Dr. Bunny?
Not surprising, is it? Her husband came in for tests. We discovered gout. We operated for piles. And he died of a cardiac arrest.
Nurse Mary's here.
All right, Nurse Mary.
Yes, I think Mrs. Leslie would like to accompany you down to the mortuary. Down to the mortuary.
Thank you.
Wait, no, stop. One of the other doctors can take Mr. Leslie to the mortuary. I've got a few more questions for Dr. Bonnie concerning Nurse Mary and his son.
You naughty pussy.
Right, Dr. Mortimer. Oh! Whoa! Whoa!
You bit pussy, haven't you?
Thank you, Dr. Bonnie. I think you both have perfected that. Just put Mr. Leslie in the corridor.
I thought I might go spend a penny first.
Nobody's spending a penny. Not you, not you, not you, not you! Let's get some sense out of somebody. Nurse Mary.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
And she will be more fine tomorrow.
Nurse Mary, can I have your undivided attention?
Of course.
Thank you. Now, Nurse Mary. Nurse Mary. Nurse Mary.
She is in no fit state to be questioned.
Nurse Mary.
Yes, Sergeant.
Can you confirm that you are the only Nurse Mary at this hospital? God almighty, Nurse Mary!
Looks like you'll have to wait until after Christmas, Sergeant.
Nurse Mary!
Very good.
Oh. Nurse Mary!
I'm all yours, Hubert.
Hubert?
I'm afraid you'll get no sense out of Nurse Mary today, Sergeant.
I haven't got much sense out of anybody in this hospital today.
Well, I resent that, Sergeant.
Especially you two gentlemen.
Us?
If anybody should know how many Nurse Marys there are in this hospital, it would be you two.
We do know. There are 3 Nurse Marys, ear, nose, and throat Nurse Mary, surgical Nurse Mary, and pathological Nurse Mary.
She seems to think that she's the only Nurse Mary in this hospital.
She would. She's pathological.
She lost her morals down among the corals. Gee, but she was good to me. And many's the night, hell moonlight, down in her bungalow. Ashes to ashes and dust.
Right. Next you'll be telling me Mr. Leslie can walk on water.
Dr. Mortimer.
I wouldn't go too far. You have some questions to answer as well. Oi, get back here.
What in blazes is going on here?
Well, I told you it was another emergency, Sir Willoughby. Nurse Mary collapsed. She has these fits.
Nurse Mary has fits?
And starts brought on by overwork.
Has Dr. Bonnie also collapsed?
Yes, brought on by Dr. Mortimer.
Well, you might like to know, Mortimer, that in your absence I have concluded your Ponsley lecture for you.
Oh, I am abjectly sorry, Sir Willoughby.
Yes, and I must say I enjoyed it enormously.
I can't apologize. You did?
Yes, and a very excellent speech, Mortimer. David. Sir David.
Well, thank you, sir. Allow me to get you a drink.
Why not? And you were right about your entrance, too. Really made the delegates sit up, and the junior health minister also. Rolled up trousers and a funny wig. I think I'll try that with my closing speech for the delegates. Rolled up trousers. Oh, very good. And a funny wig. Thank you. Cheers. My first today. Fellow delegates of the world, I want to thank you from the heart of my bottom.
We're approaching the final hurdle, Hubert.
I've been chased by that police sergeant.
You are supposed to be dead.
Much more of this than I will be. Oh. Has she kicked the bucket as well?
No. Now, into the bathroom with you.
I spent half of my morning in that bathroom.
Lovely. Have the other half.
Nurse Mary! Nurse Mary!
Hubert, we need to make sure that that sergeant does not question Nurse Mary. Oh. Give us a hand, Hubert. Gee, what are friends for, after all?
I haven't noticed much friendship so far today.
David! Sir Willoughby was absolutely thrilled with your speech. He was so happy that he said, "What the hell is Nurse Mary doing in this?"
No trick questions, please.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, can't you stay out of the way for 5 minutes?
Mother, will you please go home?
Oh, it's all wet here. It's a good thing I stuffed my bra this morning.
This is fine. How nice.
Yes.
What brings you to the hospital?
Oh, please, just stick to the how nice to see you.
Isn't it your tea time, Mother?
Oh, this is much more important than tea.
I just thought I should let you know, Dad, that you needn't come with me to the police station anymore.
Needn't I?
Ah! Granny's gonna come with me instead.
Mother, you mustn't get involved.
No, Mrs. Bonnie, you mustn't get involved.
I don't know who knows what and who doesn't know what, but I think you all ought to know that Uncle Tom is on his way up here, and he's looking for a Mr. Leslie.
Uncle Tom?
Who is Uncle Tom?
Never mind, he's one of the bad guys. Go dump Nurse Mary somewhere.
Oh, come on, Nurse Mary.
Yeah, Sergeant! Right, where's Mr. Leslie?
The sergeant rampaging about, looking for.
Lovely!
Oh no.
We're all here now.
I was just asking about Mr. Leslie.
If you must know, madam, I've been chasing your late husband up and down the hospital corridors, and he's been doing at least 20 miles per hour.
It's a miracle.
Don't give me that.
Really, Sergeant? Chasing an old man in a wheelchair. You could give him a heart attack.
That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, Nurse Tatum. You're not really married to that Mr. Leslie now, are you?
Mother, will you wait downstairs?
And take your grandson with you.
I must say, Mrs. Bonnie, it's marvelous how you haven't let the news about Leslie upset you.
Well, I was surprised a little bit at first.
The only person we really got to break it to easily is Dr. Bonnie's wife.
Herbert's wife.
It's okay, Gran. My mom explained to me that my father was a married man.
Oh,
Dr. Bonnie!
All right, who is going to be the one to tell me how this fairy tale ends?
You're really not covering up a wife as well now, are you?
I forgot what I'm covering up.
I think the sooner you introduce me to your wife, the better, Dad.
There's no need to introduce you to my wife, Leslie.
Hubert?
Yes, there is, Dad.
No, there's not, Leslie.
Why not?
Because they're divorced. It was a quickie. They don't call him Speedy Gonzales for nothing.
Great. That means there's nothing to stop me from seeing you and Grant every day now. Hasn't this been the best day of your life, Dad?
Sure has.
Sergeant, seeing as none of this involves my wife, I think that she would like to go home.
Doctor, your wife can go home after I've had some answers to a few more questions. Like why Nurse Mary Pathological had a 6-inch syringe buried in her backside. And why ear, nose, and throat and surgical, I'd like to get her number, by the way, having suffered similar injections, disappeared off the face of the planet.
She saw you.
Why Dr. Bonnie has a wife he knows nothing about, a mistress he calls Mrs. Tate, Miss Tate, Mrs. Leslie, and Dr. Mortimer, and a mother he calls Pussy. Why the doctors can make some of their patients rise amazingly from the dead, but at the same time, they don't know if other patients are COD, DOA, been hit by a number 34 BUS. Why there seems to be some permanent pantomime rehearsal in progress, running concurrently with the Reverend's tea party. Why the name Leslie seems to cover all forms of life, from neurotic dogs to...
Ouch!
Serves you right.
to unbalanced, obviously, punks. And why, if you're called Leslie or Tate, you have no idea who your family members are? And why, if you have the aforementioned names of Leslie or Tate, all of your family members have died in mysterious climbing accidents in the Himalayas? And why I keep seeing my nephew run around this hospital with breasts?
I've been trying to figure that out for years.
And finally, the last question. Why I'm starting to believe you're all nuts?
What was the first question again?
Is it finally safe to come out the lab? Hello, Sergeant. Nice to see you.
Oi, get back here!
Rosemary, I have to be quick. I think it's time that you knew the truth about Leslie.
Oh, Dr. Mortimer.
Oh, but we know the truth about Leslie here.
We can't keep this up. Rosemary, brace yourself for a shock.
What is it, David?
The truth about this boy's father is...
Hey, open this door.
Just a moment, Sergeant. The door's stuck. The truth about this boy's father is...
He's the greatest. That's who my dad is.
The truth about this young man is...
Yes.
The truth is this young man is mine.
Yours?
What's going on out there?
We've called for maintenance, Sergeant, but it'll be just a moment.
When you say yours,
I mean mine and Nurse Tate's.
when you say yours and Nurse Tate.
No, don't blame her, Rosemary. I was young, handsome, and virile.
Are you telling me?
I'm telling you, she couldn't help herself.
But you did.
Please open this door. Mr. Leslie thinks I'm his wife.
I'm very sorry about that, Sergeant. Hold out a little while. Maintenance is on the way.
What are you trying to pull?
Pull?
My mom wouldn't have an affair with a reverend.
Affair with the Reverend?
It was 19 years ago, Rosemary.
Even when you were a curate, she wouldn't have fallen for you. I found my dad, haven't I? Dr. Bonnie.
Oh, Leslie.
He's good and kind and thoughtful and generous and lovable, and he's a hero. And you are a pompous twit.
A pompous twit?
I don't even look like you.
Well, thank God for that.
You couldn't be my father.
I wish I wasn't, but I bloody well am.
Please open the door. He's got the squirty thing.
I hope he's talking about the bottle. I've never seen anyone I've never seen anyone for
lying. I found my dad, haven't I?
Leslie.
It's got to be Dr. Bonnie.
Son.
Of course, Leslie. I am your father. Much better to tell the truth, my dear.
What?
Thank you, David, but I don't need you to take on my responsibilities any longer.
Needn't you?
No.
I knew it.
I knew it too, darling.
My dad doesn't tell lies, does he, Dad?
Certainly not. Not like Dr. Mortimer. I can assure you, I'm quite happy in the situation, and I can cope.
Well, as long as you're happy.
I am.
And Nurse Mary is happy?
She is.
And I'm happy.
Well, I just thought I was in a better position to take care of the boy, that's all.
And that was a very unselfish gesture on your part.
Quite unlike you, David.
Especially during Christmas.
I told you that wasn't my fault. I just thought I should help out old Hubert, that's all.
We don't need the Reverend's money, do we?
Definitely not.
Well, actually, a small donation and a raise wouldn't come amiss, would it?
Will you bring me some fresh pants? Mr. Leslie won't give mine back.
Hold on. We're still discussing maintenance.
Well, I don't see why I shouldn't be a sort of uncle to the boy.
Right. Think we should all go down to the police station and then afterwards home for a cup of tea? Mother?
Oh, that would be lovely.
Great.
I make a lovely cup of tea, Leslie.
Come on, Gran.
Let's go, darling.
Right. Thank you, David. After you, Mrs. Bonnie?
Hubert, is that a proposal?
I made a mistake 19 years ago. I'd be a fool to do it twice.
I think you have some explaining to do, Your Reverend.
Let's go mingle with the delegates first.
David, the boy's eyes are brown.
So what?
Hubert's are blue. Nurse Tate's are good. Impossible to have a baby with brown eyes.
Well, I think there are medical exceptions.
And the boy's wide mouth.
I did notice that.
And he's so devastatingly good looking.
You think so? I mean, he's not particularly, is he?
David, it's reassuring to know that you were human once.
What do you mean once?
You've become so stodgy lately.
Stodgy? Me?
You were much less dreary when you were having the odd affair.
Oh, that is a horrible thing to say.
You stopped that about 10 years ago, right?
I don't know what you're...
Well, I do. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you return to the old days in the sluice room.
Oh, Rosemary.
But a little more activity at home would do us both the power of good. Now, let's go mingle with the delegates.
I've obviously been a very lucky man.
And I've been a very lucky woman, darling.
No.
Yes. What do you think Dr. Bonnie and I were doing all those nights you were rolling around the sluice room?
Rosemary!